How you doing? Check it out. I got a dope review for you. We got Gangster Squad coming up right now.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Carter. It won't ever happen again. I swear to God.
You're talking to God, so you might as well swear to me.
It's Mickey Cohen's town. You're not gonna change anything around here, Sarge.
We're losing Los Angeles to an Eastern crook.
I'm the future.
This isn't a crime wave. It's enemy occupation. I need you to wage war against Mickey Cohen.
You like that? That was my Sean Penn impression. At least Sean Penn in this movie. And this movie is none other than Gangster Squad. The infamous movie that was pushed from, I believe it was September, all the way to January because there was a scene in the movie that involved mobsters shooting up a movie theater that was obviously needed to be removed in order to pay respects to the Aurora, Colorado massacre. Usually when a movie gets pushed, it means that the studio is very insecure about the project, meaning that the movie is probably going to bomb. Fortunately, that is not the case with Gangster Squad. It was just a very respectful move on Warner Brothers' part, and it paid off. I was going into this movie thinking that, hey, if I cannot tell the difference where the theater shooting scene was going to be, and it's very seamless in its editing, then I was pretty much gonna enjoy the film because I knew what these guys. I know that these guys knew what they were doing. And fortunately, I wasn't able to tell one bit where that scene was supposed to go, and the entire movie was seamless in terms of its pacing and in terms of its editing. Set in Los Angeles in 1949, Gangster Squad is about a World War II veteran turned cop, played by Josh Brolin, who is recruited by the chief of the police, played by Nick Nolte, to round up a group of cops to form the Gangster Squad, a team that will fight organized crime against Mickey Cohen, played by Sean Penn, who is conquering LA during these troubled times with human trafficking and drugs. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I really dug how inspired the time period was. I mean, everything really did feel like it was set in 1949 Los Angeles. The clothes, the music, the dialect, if you will. And just overall, the entire area was very stylized. I mean, this film is immensely stylized. It took me a while to figure out that this was actually directed by, I believe his name is Ruben Fleischer. I think that's how you pronounce his name. This is the same guy who directed Zombieland and 30 Seconds or Less. So I always enjoy when a director is able to go from one particular set of genre to a completely different one, and that's the case with Ruben Fleischer, who is very familiar with comedy in Zombieland and 30 Seconds or Less, going to just a hard-hitting drama, or at least a gangster action film in Gangster Squad. You got great characters headlined by Josh Brolin. You also got Ryan Gosling in there, who plays that hot-headed cop that is probably going to appear in almost every single kind of movie of the sort, but you still manage to like him. A supporting cast includes Giovanni Ribisi, Anthony Mackie, Michael Pena, Robert Patrick, and seeing the group come together was just very enjoyable. And I'm always a sucker for a group going on a mission saying, hey, we are going to do this, we don't care what's going to happen. The chances are nobody's going to know what's going to happen, or nobody's going to know that we did it. But we're going to do it anyway because, you know what, we're badasses. And that's pretty much the whole theme of this movie. When push comes to shove, you push right back. And of course, we can't forget the lovely Emma Stone. Not only is she drop dead gorgeous, but she's also very good in her role. But I can tell you one thing, that dress that she wears in that very first scene that she's in this movie is gonna go into one of those, you know how every now and then they have a special, like the top 10 dresses in cinematic history, the top 10 bikinis in cinematic history. Chances are that in due time, Emma Stone will make that list of the top 10 well-dressed women, and it'll have that shot from this movie. Her chemistry with Ryan Gosling worked great, especially since they already have some history from working together in Crazy Stupid Love. And there's some really great action sequences, especially a chase sequence in the middle of this movie, where there's a lot of swooping camera angles and explosions, and done in very, again, stylized. The ultimate strength of this movie is style, and it plays to great effect. Now, I do have some issues. One is that I was not a particular fan of how Sean Penn was practically chewing up the scenery, whether it be for good or for bad. I mean, there were moments where he was genuinely an intimidating guy and just a huge douchebag. But then there were other scenes where, like I demonstrated at the beginning of this review, he was trying to give his best impression of a Robert De Niro and Al Pacino hybrid baby. Yo, bada bing, bada boom. You know, it was just too much. I'm like, dude, yeah, I'm pretty sure you love those actors, but you should probably try to do your own thing. Another complaint of mine would be that this movie does suffer from a few cliches, and there's various other elements that were made way better, mainly by Scorsese, that are done in this film, but at least in this film, they're not done terribly. Now, I'm not gonna say this is the best gangster movie of the decade, like a lot of critics are saying, but it's definitely a very enjoyable film, and very rarely do we get very enjoyable films in January, with the exception of last year, The Grey. Still, I will say this is the movie to see during this dry time at the box office. Violent and sexy and stylized, very well paced and immensely charming. I give Gangster Squad an 8.8 out of 10, which is a B+. Definitely the best movie of the year. Oh, that joke is bad. For more reviews, click the channel link below, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.
You're gonna be begging for a bullet before it's over.